Hi everybody, Monday afternoon. It's so hot here today. I've done a bit in the garden and I've come to join Harriet for not for a siesta, but to do a couple of videos and have a cup of tea. I know people are following the thing over in Thailand. She's been eating live shrimp, they're cooked and they're still jumping. She thinks that's funny. The smaller the animal doesn't mean that animal suffers exponentially less simply because of its size. Disgusting. What are you going to try next, Foodie? Cook cat? Dog? Maybe? I'm sure you can get that sort of shit in some of the places you go to. Be novel, wouldn't it? It would bring people into your channel for the shock value. But then you'd have shot yourself in the foot and people would be leaving in droves. I think they're going to be leaving in droves anyway, eventually. Anyway, this isn't about you right now, not right now. This is about Kaya Simons. The silence is deafening, isn't it? Nothing. There's not a whisper of her on social media or of him. Well, I wouldn't expect it of him. Although he was trying to save his beloved's channel. It isn't going to happen unless you open a channel in joint names, as in I was a trafficker, I was the victim, we are now together sort of business like. So what do we know about people like him, like Terence Simons, convicted of pandering to an underage victim, in other words, a child? Well, let me give you my own thoughts on this, right? And they are my own thoughts. Of course, it wasn't his first victim or his only victim. A girl, clearly, but do you think boys aren't trafficked also? Boys are trafficked, women are trafficked. And we all know, I think, what traffickers and people like Mr. Simons look for in their target, in people they target. First of all, the first thing they look for is vulnerability. Age, yes. Kaya was saying she didn't have her ID. Who walked around with her ID? Did she have a car? Is that why she would have had an ID? She sounded to me like she wasn't old enough to drive and that she was an impoverished child. So why would she have had an ID on her anyway? He identified the victim. The victim was underage. Now Kaya's saying that she looked older. Older than what? Older than what? Old enough to do what? To old enough to traffic. The victim, the targets, looked vulnerable, first of all. first and foremost. Vulnerable, young and vulnerable. As it turned out, underage, young and vulnerable. All of the reasons why girls, boys are targeted, picked up off the floor, as the saying goes, Kaya, and used. The pedo perpetrator, call them what you will work to gain that person's trust. And by work, I mean talk to them, ostensibly offer them help, offer them a meal. Are you hungry? Have some egg and chips or egg and fries. Have some mashed potato and a cup of tea, and get in that room. Maybe not the last piece, but you know what I mean. They target the victim, the vulnerable victim, regardless of age. Sometimes they want a young victim, so they will aim for that and choose not to know how old they are, because then if they're caught, they can say, I didn't know. She looked older. She told me she was whatever age. So there's that, isn't there, Mr. Simons? You knew all right. And, of course, the pink predator perpetrator will talk nicely to them. You've got nowhere to stay, nowhere to sleep. I've got a place you can stay. There's other girls there. You won't be alone. You have to share a bedroom, but that's okay with you. Okay. You have a daughter. You've got no money? I can give you some money. You can pay me back when you start work. All the ominous meaning behind those words. When you start work. Pay me back whenever you start work. What, you've got no clothes? You've just got the clothes you're standing up in and a change of underwear in that bag. That's all you've got. Oh. Tell you what, one of the girls, let's call her Mary, after Foodie's hamster that went missing. Mary will loan you some clothes. She's got some lovely clothes, as Mary. She'll loan you some clothes for the time being, and in the interim, here, take this. Get yourself a couple of nice dresses, jeans, tops, underwear. Don't worry, pay me back when you start work. Talking of which, I can help you out there as well. Mary works in a kosher, massage parlour, genuine massage parlour, all up front. And you don't do anything you don't want to do. It's a proper place, gentlemen who go, sometimes ladies who go too. As I say, it's a real place. So there might be an opening there. There might be an opening for, let me see, when you tied it up a bit, maybe a receptionist. Would you like that? Could you do that? Just, greeting people as they come in, getting them to sign the book, pay their fee, and writing down when they leave. and just generally keeping tabs, answering the telephone, making appointments for people, cancelling appointments when it's necessary, that sort of thing, you know, general office duties basically. Do you think you could do that? It'd be a nice little salary for you. Could pay me back, you'd also be making money, and you'll have a lovely place to live. What do you think? Okay, we'll start you there then. And in the meantime, I think that you get a nice bath, a decent night's sleep, and I'll come round to see the girls tomorrow to bring some payments to them, their salaries. I can give you an advance maybe and take you to show you where you'll be working, and we'll take it from there. Oh, that girl would have thought that she'd fallen on her feet right into heaven's gate. The next day, of course, he'd pick her up, take her to the place, take her out to lunch, give her some all through talk. And as I've said before, Bob's your uncle, in she goes. Then there's one day when a client turns up and the girl who is supposed to see isn't there. She's off sick or something. So this gentleman, Mr. Simons, let's call him, says, could you help us out? Janet, let's call her. Could you help us out, Janet? You don't know how to massage? Oh, it's simple, just, you know, firm strokes on the legs. The oils are in there. On the legs, he's a gymnast. You know, he'll tell you where the muscles ache, and you just do the firm strokes on his neck. He'll tell you, and it's very easy. You get a cut, you get so much of him, and anything extra he may ask you to do, I don't know, like, well, anything extra. That's entirely your prerogative, and you could make money doing that, but he's just here for the massage, he's just here to ease his joints. And I know you're very short of money. I know you are. I know you're in trouble. I know you've got fines. I know this, that. Do me a favour, I've done you favours, and help us out this once. So off Janet trots into the room with his athlete gentleman, gives him a very amateurish massage, and he's talking to her, he's nice to her. This is what these kids need, somebody to be nice to them, talk to them, listen to them, make them feel that they are more than just a body. And he talks to her. They have a drink together, it's brought to the room. He puts his arm round her. There's a little bit of petting going on. One thing leads to another. And Janet finds she's a little bit out of control, that she is overpowered a bit. But he's nevertheless very nice and says, you want this, you can earn $100 from me, just be nice. The easiest $100 she thinks that she's ever earned. And she's caught, she's entrapped, and from that day on, all she is a body. All she is a number. all she is to Mr. Simons is another girl in his stable of girls that he uses. And of course she's too valuable to go back on reception. Bill's in occasionally, another young girl there, and on it goes. That's what people like him do. They reduce a person, a girl, a boy, a woman, reduce them to being just a piece of meat, just a body for somebody to use. And those girls, they don't know who they are. They never did know who they were, and even more so now because they've sold their soul to the devil. That's what people like him do. I've got a video to show you from a couple of years ago of Kaya, which is just an indication of how hypocritical she is. You know, that she can do what she likes. Nobody can tell her what she can do. Blah, blah, blah. But I think somebody's telling you what to do now, Kaya, and that is to keep off the internet. But we'll see, won't we? And as for him, scumbag, don't bother coming back with your apologies. They will never, ever be accepted. Never.